You want to be baby?
I don't know.
You're good. These are our friends. You kidding me? We can talk to friends, can't we? Well, we are excited about it. It was kind of a trying time. Some of it's hard for me to remember, so I'll have to defer to Kimber on some of it. That was how long? How long did we do this? But we're thankful. And the difficult part was when we tried to put stuff together to convey or say, like, man, there's a lot happened. How are we going to bring that down to 10 minutes or whatever the case may be? Just a lot of stuff that we hadn't gone through before. But for sure, we can acknowledge some real truths right off the bat. Number one, we want to thank God.
We may have to take pauses because retelling it, triggers a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Sure. For allowing us to go through it, to be honest.
Yes.
Sounds a little bizarre, but for me in particular, that's what I needed. My time with him had gotten kind of dry, and you know that right off the bat, and it was just unconfessed sin. And so we dealt with that, and I actually before that he dealt with it, I got to the point where I said, Lord, I can't live without this. So whatever it takes, you got to be careful saying that one. And so, lo and behold, he did. He answered that one. And so we do thank him for that. And another thing we thank him clearly for is this class.
Yes.
There's no way I can convey what y'all have meant to us. You've actually become part of our testimony because, as we share with friends, people we've shared with, forever, even our kids and their kids and stuff, how critical it is for them to be in church and develop relationships. We've been able to talk to them and go, this is what it looks like. And it got their attention. They're like, wow. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe the things y'all have done for us. And so, we want to make sure that that's understood, how much we think of y'all and how much y'all carried us through some pretty difficult times. As we look back, we noticed that God actually is always preparing us for stuff. And a lot of times we don't even notice it until after the fact. We're looking back. I had picked up this little book, and I don't even know where it came from. I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Calvary Road with Roy Hession. Come to find out, it's been around for a long time. Some 40 different languages and millions of copies, 65 pages. That's the kind of books I read. But it's packed. You start making notes on this thing, and it's all you're doing is transcribing. Wait, that's already said that in there. But it was just so good. And the entire premise of this whole thing is brokenness. Imagine that. And that there really is no growth, no relationship that gets any deeper with God without perpetual brokenness. Well, we don't want to hear that, but it comes down to that every single time. He talks about a picture of the brokenness is the cross before you, and as you're trying to stay on that Calvary road, at the bottom of the cross is a door, a small door, so small that you're on your hands and your knees, and that's a picture of where we have to be before we can be used perpetually all the time, always having yes when God tells us to do something. And so it was pretty neat. I'd studied that and looked at it numerous times, made notes, and thought, well, must be for somebody else. I'll take some good notes. It was for me. So let me just jump into the kind of the logistics of it. So in July, I was preparing for, and the other thing that prepared us too, Kimber was already at home. She had left work, left her job, because she actually thought that she was going to be helping with her mother quite a bit in Northeast Arkansas. So I said, yeah, honey, come on home. We'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. Little did she know, he's taking care of Big Daddy 24/7. Forget your mother. So, but I know. I'm thinking, Lord, I needed this. I'm hard-headed all the time, but she got to walk through this too. She's going to have so many crowns. It's ridiculous. But so I had planned on next surgery in July, and I already had neck surgery before, and so, I kind of knew something about that. That wasn't a big deal. But right before surgery, I noticed I tweaked my back. And that's not uncommon either, But within just a short period of time, I thought, this is a little different back pain. This is kind of strange. So I was going back to my follow-up for my neck, and I said, Dr. Smith, I said, hey, something's going on with my back. He said, well, okay, we'll scan it. So I got the scan done. Now, I work at the imaging center, MRI for a living, and my wife's a radiation therapist. And so got that scan. Well, actually, while I was in the machine with my friends scanning me, people I work with, I know how long these things take, and I don't want to be in there any longer either than most people, So I was in there, okay, that should be done by now. Tick, tick, bang, 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 bang. And so, you know how it is. Wonderful. I don't like them myself. I do it every day. And so then they come over the intercom. Bruce, we're going to bring you out, but don't move because we may have to give you contrast. I'm like, what? For that's a sign for us in the medical field, like something must be going on. Well, I kind of acted a little bit ugly. I said, no, let me out. I'm getting out of here. Because I'm thinking, wait a minute, one of these kids in there looking at it, I better look at it myself. Of course, that caused them more work, but I didn't care. So I got out and looked at the pictures. I went, oh, crap. Okay, let's give me contrast. I'll take a few more pictures. And so we got that done. I walked in there and it enhanced. And when enhanced means it collected the dye that they gave me and showed up as an abnormal signal, if you will. Well, to us, that's kind of like, this is not a good scenario, And it was pretty good size, down lumbar area. So we got through that. And then, are you going to jump in here at this point? Are you about ready?
Let me get my notes.
She's got notes. She's my analytical genius.
I do. Oh, whatever.
She's wonderful.
Can I just sit down?
Sure.
Because I am not a speaker. So I'm just going to kind of recap some.
Yeah, she's just doing the kind of the logistics of, because I don't remember. Listen, from August. My next surgery is when? August 5th. From then, we went through some stuff, but I think the Lord has already kind of, taken it away because I don't remember a lot of it, so.
Yeah, we don't talk about it a lot yet, just because we're just so ready to be away from it. Like, I'm tired of the struggle. I'm tired of healthcare. I'm tired of everything. I just want to be normal again. That's kind of how we felt. But anyway, my adventure kind of started with my mom. I left my job. My mother has early signs of dementia. We didn't really know how severe. My sister lives there as well. So anyway, we took a short trip with her to Branson because she can still do things, so we thought we would kind of hang out with her a little bit. And I found this shirt. I love T-shirts. So as a woman, the color and the, saying was just fitting. So I bought it. Little did I know we'd be living it out. That was the 1st of July. And it says the struggle is real, and so is Jesus. And so our struggle, the first part, I'll just talk about our struggle. He was diagnosed, he said, September 7th. And for 6.5 weeks, we endured this hardship, this trial, until the surgery in October. The 21st of October. And during this time, Bruce went from being independent. He drove himself to get the scan. He walked in. His pain was there, but it was tolerable. He was using pain meds and stuff. But he went from independence to complete wheelchair-bound, 24/7 care. His pain was unbearable during that 6 weeks. And the days were so long. They grew longer. We had less sleep, more stress. And it was hard physically. It was really hard for me. I had to care for him. And I'm older now, so, not really the best shape. So anyway, it was hard physically, and then it got even harder emotionally as I watched him decline very quickly. So during that 6 weeks, we had 5 independent or separate ER visits, 5, 3 ambulance rides, and those were all a story in itself. I mean, I could tell you 20 minutes worth on each one of them. It was pretty intense, but God was there through it all. A couple things I wanted to bring out is we pushed for help. We knew this was serious. We're from the healthcare, so just by looking at the images, and we knew it was serious. We called, we pleaded, we even begged with the receptionist, the doctors, can you please move our appointment up? Please, we need in, he's hurting, you know. I didn't know what else to do. They gave us a little bit of pain medicine, it wasn't working. It wasn't, where it was located, it just wasn't effective. And I think that's what led to the ER visits. We had to have IV drugs and stuff like that anyway to control the pain.
Can I speak on the pain for just a,
Yeah.
just to describe, I've never had anything like it. It was more like electrical shock. So that tumor had gotten so big that it had encased those nerve roots. So any movement would electrocute the crap out of me, you know. So I spent days in one position, you know. So,
Yeah, sometimes he was in so much pain he would call for me, and it could be in the middle of the night or middle of the afternoon. We was napping or whenever sleep was erratic, and he was in pain, so we had him propped up with pillows. And I mean, sometimes he was in this position just to get rid
wait, underneath there. That's it.
Yeah, we were finding our way through all this. And I journaled a lot through this whole thing. It was my quiet time, but I just had so much pent-up emotion, you know. I was like, I gotta do something. And in the meantime, I had been taking this Wednesday night class with the ladies, Lisa Turkhurst. The actual class was on forgiveness, and I went with a friend who was having some marital problems and stuff, and I thought, I don't need this class. But the class led
I've
me
lived
to...
with bruises. I learned how to forgive. We got that.
The class led me to this devotion, Sing Beautiful again. And so I just needed a new devotion, and I thought I need something fresh, new, you know, something. So I started reading this, and little did I know, gosh, how God would use this book. You know, the prayers that she put in here was just like what my heart was feeling. So I would record them, and I don't think I could read them. I don't think I could make it through them. But anyway, we finally got the appointment moved up, and the first one was October 13th, and then we pleaded and begged, and they moved it up 1 week earlier. And after we saw the doctor, oh gosh, they didn't give us much hope. It was really dire. They couldn't really give us a definitive diagnosis because of where it was located. It was in the actual, it wasn't a ruptured disc, it was in the spinal cord, so they could not biopsy it, so we wouldn't know until surgery. And he kept using the word cancer. We knew it was a real possibility and it could turn out very bad with loss of body function from his waist down.
And I got to the point where I was be okay with that. The pain was so bad that I thought, you know, paraplegic, I can survive in a wheelchair, but y'all got to stop the pain somehow. It was just that kind of weird thing.
Yeah. Now the first part, that was our struggle. Okay, I just explained our struggle, but Jesus was the real part.
Amen.
You know,
Amen. Charge.
Jesus calling.
But during that part where Jesus was so real to us, his faithfulness, his goodness, like Bruce said, this class, y'all just will never know.
Unbelievable.
Just never know.
Unbelievable.
Your continual prayers, the giving of yourself and your resources, praying over us, sometimes even coming to our house. Mike and Crystal, they were just a constant presence in our life daily. We had, you know, of course, neighbors and friends, co-workers and stuff that were Christians that ministered to us as well, our family, you know, they mean so much to us. But God added the Wednesday night ladies group, the small group. It was a lifeline for them. I don't know. They were just there through group text. I don't know. Now I just know why I took that class Wednesday night now. It was just so much support. All of these factors, the Sunday school class, Mike and Crystal, a Wednesday night group, God just gave me a picture of what it talks about in Acts 12, where it says Peter was in prison, you know, and they were all at the house of Mary. Many were gathered together praying. That's how I saw y'all, even as a corporate group or even individual. And then Peter knocks at the door, and, you know, he's freed. And so was Bruce, through the surgery. The tumor was where they could extract it. It was benign. Y'all may know that already. I don't know. I'm probably just retelling the story, but he still has issues, pain and stuff, but
You talking about on my back? I can get real honest.
So just another part of that Jesus was real to us, his faithfulness and goodness through the class, the prayers, and the support that y'all gave to us and still minister to us in so many ways. The trust was real. The realness of walk by faith and not by sight. In my journal, I wish I could read it without crying. I'd never make it through it, but just the ache and the pain and the not understanding and having to trust the Lord, all those things are good to read back over, And then my personal walk has become closer as well, and I think that it's so weird though. Through the suffering, God pulls you in so close, and you need it, but it's just kind of an odd parallel, I guess, if you will.
Paradox.
That's how he works. So I just found out that the greater the intensity of the trial, it's just you get more of Jesus, and that's where we were. So the actual verse that this shirt is trying to say is Romans 8:18. For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory that is to be revealed in us. So,
That's it. Thank you, baby. Thank y'all again. Appreciate you.
Michael, can I share something very quickly?
Sure.
This week we asked for prayer for a dear friend of mine that passed unexpectedly. Her son was in the hospital last weekend after a self-destructive decision.